Hello guys, and today I'm bringing you another exciting 1v1. Now, up in the top, it's me, and in the bottom, it's Veritas from the clan OHS. Now, we're both Protoss, which means the game might have some aggression to it, because PvPs have historically been a very volatile matchup. And now on this map, you see there's a narrow ramp, normal, but there's a wide open natural here, but you can wall off here to protect your natural. But there's also back doors blocked by the ice, which they could get through from here. The two watchtowers are here, overlooking this overlooking the center of the map. Oh, by the way, this map is called Polar Night. And as you see, I'm scouting right now because it's a PvP, which means anything could happen. And now I forget to chrono boost. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Me forgetting to chrono boost. Yeah. Now I come in here and I'm like, wow, his gateway's already here. So I'm like, oh no, I'm probably super late. Because I thought I was incompetent, but it turned out this guy was incompetent. Because he stored up a lot of money and didn't build enough workers and built a late pylon. So now I take my geyser, and his probe is about to come up here to scout me. I hide my probe down here to keep it so I could scout later on too. So now his probe comes in and he sees nothing out of the ordinary. Meanwhile, his gateway finished, which now he'll build his cybernetics core. My simulator finished, so now I build some, I put my workers into the geyser. From his view, he saw my geyser. Right now he's looking at his base. So now he's scouting my natural to see if I have anything, and now I built a cybernetics core. At this point I should be building my pylon, but I forgot my pylon. So now I build it, and now I'm supply blocked. He built his proxy pylon over here, which is interesting. It's definitely in a weird location. So now he built his second gateway, and my probe is still over here. Meanwhile, I check for proxy pylons, because I know he might proxy me, but he put it here, which means I didn't see it. That was pretty smart on him. So now I built my second gateway, and now I'm still chrono boosting workers. If you go to the income tab, you see that I have way more income than him. So now, in the production, he's ahead of me in warp gate, and he's ahead of me in gateways too. So now I'm getting chrono boosting my warp gate. I have a zealot now, and I'm building a stalker. He's going for the 4-gate rush. And when my probe comes back in here and look, I see 1 gateway, 2 gateway, 3 gateways, and 4 gateways, which signals 4-gate. So now I'm preparing for the 4-gate that's gonna come. And right now I recall my probe because I've seen all that I needed to. I know it's a 4-gate. So now I build my robotics facility. I know it's a pylon, not my robotics facility. So now, there's a sentry warping in right now to help hold off the 4-gate. So guys, now I'm accepting for other people to send me replays for me to cast their replays. So send me your replays at fdas2499@gmail.com. And then I'll cast your replays since right now I don't have many replays to cast. So if you want to get your replays casted by me, send it to that email. So now currently he has 4 stalkers, and it is indeed the 4-gate I was expecting. So right now I took my few units here, but I forgot my mothership core, which is essential defense. So I come here and I force field to trap this stalker here. And now that stalker died, but I still don't have much. And this mothership core provides vision, and also it's hard to micro. So that happened. So now I'm doing damage to the mothership core, and using intense micro, I move back my zealots. My robotics finished, but there's no time to get an immortal. he's come back with even more stalkers, and I'm not sure if I can hold this. But he didn't rush up my ramp because of my zealots, and now he has a vastly superior army right now. Way more than me, and he also has about the same income as me. But now we're fighting, and he throws down his time warp. But luckily, my force field prevented him from moving up the ramp. So now, I filled my own mothership core after seeing his. So now I'm warping in sentries, and now I still don't have much, and I force field again. And now I warp in another stalker. Meanwhile, back at home, he has a bunch of workers, and his warp gates are still powering hard. And now I have some units, and now I have a chance at beating back this army now. His macro is slipping until he warped in these stalkers. And now I'm building immortal, because immortals are good against stalkers. So I want to kill these stalkers, which are a threat right now. So his mothership core died, so now he doesn't have vision anymore, which is bad for him. My observer finished, and now I'm getting immortal. He tries to rush up the ramp again, but I fended off his attack. Meanwhile, I send my observer to his base, and now he's warping in yet more stalkers. And this is a scary force, but I have enough to hold it off, especially with the photon overcharge. Now, his stalker army is here. And now my immortal is done, which means I have a substantial advantage against these stalkers now. My observer is still moving down. Meanwhile, how much does a stalker cost again? 50. And he's supply blocked right now. He is definitely supply blocked. He starts building an expansion now, and he runs away from me, because he just wanted to keep me in my base long enough. But I saw the expansion, so I'm like, he has an extension, maybe I should expand. But I'm like, wait, I should attack, because the best defense is a good offense, and because it's PvP, his defenses aren't really that good, so I could probably kill him in time. So I send this big army out, which would probably destroy this. But I need to send a probe to build a proxy pylon. So now, I warp into Zealot because my proxy pylon isn't done yet. And I keep my mothership core at home so I could photon overcharge. Because I don't need it for sight since I have an observer here. And another observer. So I'd be safe. I'd be good for... I have enough sight. So right now, I go and I build a pylon. I decided not to build a nexus since I need as many troops as I can for this one attack. Right now, his nexus finally finished, and he has an immortal out now. I keep on building immortals, and now that my pylon finished, I can now warp in at this pylon. He's getting his armor upgrade, which is strange. He has an observer out now, but now I attack. I throw down 2 force fields which trap his zealots. But my micro is subpar, so my units are in a bad engagement right now. So he retreated up his ramp, so I go and I attack his nexus, but he comes back down. So I am very cautious right now, and he should have overcharged his nexus. But he wasted his energy on a time warp. Overcharged, not time warp. That's big. But our macro is both slipping because of the micro we both have to do. Meanwhile, I sit back and shoot the nexus. He comes down again, but I force field again, and I start killing more of his stalkers. But most of his probes died that were down there, but most of the probes are still in his main. But he's slowly getting mined out. Meanwhile, I'm getting close to mined out, and I have a lot of money now. So after killing his expansion, I'm sitting down here and I decide to expand myself. Now I see everything that's going on in his base. Well, now I do because of my observer, and he's getting upgrades. And I see all this here. Meanwhile, his observer comes back, and I continue warping in. I have 3 immortals compared to his 2 immortals. And I also have more units. If we go to the army valley, I have way more army than him. And our income is still about the same. Now, he has more APM than me, actually. Oh, that's interesting. Now, none of us are producing much, so I run up the ramp, and I get force fielded. But I managed to kill that mothership core, which is huge. Killing the mothership core was huge, and his stalkers moved a little bit too much to that side and got killed. So now he's building more stalkers, and I'm building more stalkers too. Now this is an intense battle right now. He has the ramp advantage, and as you can see, when I run up this ramp, bad things happen to me. Bad things happen. But he pulled his stalkers back, which gave me time to run up the ramp. And now, because of my superior immortal count, I'm able to bust down his wall, his defense. And now that I've killed his immortal, there's not that much defense left. But his zealots come, and they manage to kill 1 immortal. And they might kill the second one. Yeah, they kill the second immortal. But now all he has is a few stalkers, and I have more than him. But he still has money to warp in. So I come down here and start killing probes. And now his 2 stalkers are finally dead as well. And now there's very little opposition to me. He warps in a few zealots, but those don't have much effect. And I send my additional zealots down here. Now all his probes are dead now, and I say GG because it's practically over by now. If you see the units, he has 4 probes and a mothership core. He isn't gonna win, and he calls me BM for some reason. Cause, well, don't GG before the person losing does. Well, you kinda already lost, cause you have 4 probes left and 1 observer. So now I go and I kill the Twilight Council and stuff. But then the next is a photon overcharge is still happening, so I pull my zealots back. Meanwhile, I'm building up some money, and I forgot to put my workers there because I was too occupied with the battle. I warped in more, but now he leaves because he lost. So this is a very interesting game. I hope you enjoyed it, and send your replays to me if you want them casted. My email is fadas2499@gmail.com. That's it.